This is not your normal discussion where we talk about the hard topics uncensored and unfiltered. This is not your normal discussion where we talk about the hard topics uncensored and unfiltered.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. We are back. It is not your normal discussion, and I am your host, Queen Petey.
Hey, y'all, I'm Nina.
It's your boy Tris, bringing you bliss and hoping none of our own country's dragons burn y'all to a crisp.
The voice of God himself, Sonic Chronic.
And we have our wonderful guest this week, Mark Mazzone. Yay!
Olas.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem. So let's first talk about what we've been doing, since our last season. Who wants to start? Oh, okay. Sometimes, no, I'm playing. But I just worked on the album. I made 66 cents, y'all. 66 cents, y'all.
We gotta start.
Yeah.
66
We gotta
cents.
start somewhere.
So,
66% richer.
Yeah. Throw out and just at Drake. It'll run up some numbers.
Yeah, we're trying to run up some commas.
yeah, Lord have mercy. Heck no. But unfortunately, one of our extra co-hosts did pass. Her name was Countess. She was my kitty. And now my brother in the background, Lord. Okay. Yeah, she unfortunately went into renal failure and she did pass. Wasn't the best day. What is it?
Our condolences.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I just did that, but something weird just popped up on the phone. I'm so sorry.
Not the ghost.
No, it was something I had scheduled, but yeah, it's been a little hard. I also unfortunately lost one of my cousins. He was a chef, and I'm just happy that the person that did it is not out here on the streets anymore.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just a second.
All right, I'm done. I'm actually done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I hate when people pass away.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Because if his mom was not, I'm not.
So
She's gonna be. She's gonna be.
I've been busy, girl. I've been busy. So I just finished a couple classes. Right now I am poking. I'm doing live pokes. So I am drawing blood now because this girl is going to be phlebotomist, and by hopefully May 8th, I'm putting it out there, I'm going to be certified because I'm going to take the exam and I'm going to pass it because that is that. Yeah, put it up in the air and let it go.
Put it in there. Put it in the universe.
Good luck.
Me and my daughter, we got baptized together at our church. It was a really good day. We both cried the whole time. The whole entire hour we cried. So I actually got to be in the water with her when she got put under, and then she was supposed to stand next to me, but instead she hurried up and got out, so I had to do it by myself. But this is feel good. I am an official student ambassador for my school, so I got to do help usher the graduation today as a student ambassador.
Hey.
Hopefully, once I graduated, if I don't get into my field, there's a possibility I get to be student advisor.
Okay.
For the school.
Mm.
That is something that because the original person, he got promoted to director of administrative. So yes, so he's making some good money. I want to kind of get up in there.
Want
I
to
need
get there?
that money back that I'm giving them. So
yeah.
Oh, and I am still so Sensi. I am having fun with it. And I know a long time ago, I'm back doing Mary Kay again. I just joined this week, and I will be having a Zoom party on the 26th. So next Saturday, I believe it's the 26th. So I will be putting a link somewhere so you guys can hop on, just see what some of the stuff that I got. So, and then because I was getting good grades and working it. Okay, this Hello Kitty.
Oh my God.
It's big as hell.
It's so soft.
That's a big pussy.
I know.
Hey, we love ourselves some big kitty cats over here.
And I have the Stanley Hello Kitty.
Has one of those. My student brags about that motherfucking Hello.
Oh, I'm about to get the other two colors.
She got the white
There's
one.
two more
She
colors.
got the white one. She got the white one with the red Hello Kitty wrap. Mm-hmm.
You got to get some stickers though too.
Yeah, I gotta get your stickers.
Yes.
That's the. I need to put them on my computer so everybody in my class can see it. Cause I like if I like something or love something, first thing I do, I tell everybody about it. I'm like, oh, if I have to buy you a book, I will buy you a book. Let's go. We're gonna do this together.
No,
yeah, that's how I ended up with like
literally.
I don't know if you guys remember. Jada kept she said it. He said it on the podcast. He said, "Korea, stop buying my books. You're not allowed to buy it no more because I bought that many."
I mean, I'm glad you're such a supportive person, but my God. Well, hey, give it to the students.
Yeah,
I give it to everybody. Like, oh, you gotta read this book.
Okay, look.
I've been banned. I got a hard copy. I got a regular copy.
Yeah. And as for you still going? What else is going on with you?
Right now, tomorrow there's a vendor event for the Scouts. Leah, she's gonna be an Eagle soon. She got like maybe a month left to be an Eagle Scout. She already got her project in mind. I'm very proud of her right now. It's when she's good, Mom, I'm trying to tell you. Like she yelled at me and I was like, oh, hold on, you ain't gonna yell at me. She's like, I'm trying to tell you my Eagle project. Like you've been asking and bugging me for years. And I finally figured it out. I was like, oh. I sat down. I'm like, you got my full attention, which is really, really hard because I have ADHD and I'm not on meds. So it's really hard. Why? I'm trying my best here, okay? I got school, I got Scouts, I got ballet. By the way, Annabelle and Jack will be performing June 20th at the Hampton Coliseum.
Okay. Do I have to pay to get into this?
Jack?
Do I have to pay to get into it?
Yeah, I think it's just like a couple bucks. I don't think it's gonna be that major. Yes. Okay. Don't do it.
I'll see. I'll see if I can make it. I'll see if I can make it.
Okay, I'll tell you when I get the prices.
I won't miss the train this time.
My brother.
No.
It's like that.
No,
I won't miss this time. I'll get you this time, sir.
You better. Come down,
you better.
enjoy
You gotta show up for
yourself.
both of
Both
us.
of you guys. I mean, all of you guys could come. My
Yeah, you
kids
want to go, baby?
absolutely.
You said when was
And
it?
both gonna be doing ballerina or
June.
ballet, and Jack will be
June
doing
when?
gymnastics. They already got
Wait,
costumes and everything.
June 22nd,
20th.
20th.
That's what day that is.
Mm.
So
I can look at my calendar. I think
get
I
ready.
think I start work that week.
Oh, that's the
Mm-mm.
weekend.
That's the 20th is a Friday, baby.
Okay. Huh?
The 20th is a Friday.
It is? Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I
What
see
about
y'all.
you, Tris? What's going on with you, big dog?
Speaking of not being on meds, but no. So I'm out here living, struggling, but also living and enjoying life. I was gonna say I'm glad to hear everything's going well with the family, Nina. On my end, work has been interesting. We've gotten some new people who are very promising coming in. So definitely trying to keep the team morale up, especially in this political climate. And we're gonna have more on that later in the show.
Yes.
And funny enough, I just went to the bar earlier today to try oysters for the first time, which very delicious. But we'll see how my tummy handles it.
You tried
And
what for the first time?
oysters.
Oh, I love
Hey,
oysters.
oysters don't love me. I'll tell
I
you that.
know. I'm sorry.
I do fuck with I fuck with it, but also what I do and what we speak about is things in nature that can help us restore balance, and one of those things are oysters. So now I have a couple oyster shells that once I finish cleaning them, I could share with my teammates, and we'll have it on the field as a object lesson for the people again to donate for a good cause to restore the environment. I've also been doing a little bit more writing. So hopefully, I will learn some skills from Mark today on consistency in that field, on actually sticking to it and sticking with it. And just in general, like life is looking up and trying to figure out more for myself as time goes on. I believe New York had a housing fair not too long ago that was very successful. We had a lot of people come out and meet different groups that help people get housing. So I hope a lot of people got help through that. And then, yeah, just a lot of amazing things that are slipping my mind right now. But
That's
it's
good.
going good on this end. How
Look,
about you, Voice of God?
just, just, just look. All I know is that whenever I eat that stuff, I clam up.
Mm,
So, you know.
nah,
Ooh, that does
listen.
not sound good.
No, yeah, I clam up. But yeah,
Uh,
no. Yeah, I have a question for you later.
mm,
But I won't answer now. But for now,
okay.
I'll say that I've been doing pretty good. I've been hanging in there, ups and downs. Me and Queen Petey went to Soccer, Missouri last weekend. Had a good time with some friends. Went to, I'm not gonna call it our favorite Japanese restaurant, but we're gonna say a staple Japanese restaurant. And had a good old time, good conversation. More memories were made. I love it. I love it. I love it. I tested out my new camera. I got a new camera now. I'm not using it here, but I'm going to buy the thing that allows me to connect my DSLR camera as my webcam to see if I can up the quality of my camera in general.
Nice.
Um, uh, uh, oh, and for the first time in the 10 years I've been working at my job, we did a spring break program that I was a part of. Normally, I don't work for spring break, and I have one of those jobs where if you don't work, you don't get paid, and I don't. There's no like paid PTO or anything to offset you not working, so I just kind of have to deal with it. But for whatever reason, this time around, DPR had this program, and there was a need for me, despite not working for DPR, to be there this break. So I had a job this week. So, and I was working from 8 to 4. Let me tell you that. I like that shit. God damn. Working
You
with damn
poor
kids for
soul.
8 hours is crazy.
Oh, oh.
I was
And,
just say how long you usually with them.
I only have them about 4 hours a day.
okay.
And I have them at the end of the day. So I normally work from 3:30 to 7:30. So they'd already gone through the school by the time I get the kids, right?
Oh,
So they didn't. But no, I got them before before the medicine kick in, after the medicine kick in, after the medicine wear off. I got the before, during, and
the
after
full
for all the
range.
fucking kids. It's but I love them to death. So, but this week was interesting. I was able to take my cousins to the programs with me, so they got to play tennis. I was excited for them to really get into what I've been doing for the past 10 years and the programs that I've been doing. Um, I have some more work coming up with the ANC commissioner of Ward 8 in my area. She basically wants me to be her dedicated photographer for all her events. So we're
That's
gonna write up some work and a contract for that moving forward. So things are looking okay. They're not at
Okay,
the best,
okay.
but I'm trying not to let our political climate deter me from my purpose and what I'm trying to do
Good.
and what I think that we can do and be great, even though I feel the weight of his presence every time I go to work, working in a partial government facility. So yeah, it's heavy. The influence is heavy. It's I really can't escape it.
yeah.
But no, it's mostly been positive as much as we can. I'm just trying to support Naeem. Queen PD with everything that she's going through and the loss and everything. So I just, uh, that's the best I can do with everything. I haven't had any losses in my family or anything. I just been kind of chilling, and I'm working on actually the last thing I have to say. This is new to everybody. Is I'm working on upgrading my PC or saving up to upgrade my PC so I can give better quality productions of our show in the future. So look forward to that. So and more cameras and everything else. I just been doing stuff. Okay, I've just been doing stuff, trying to get my printing business back up. All of that.
So how
Yeah,
about you,
enterprising.
Mark? Ooh, sorry.
Oh no, just commenting. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, so how about you?
Oh, life is good. Busy, and the wins I would say for me are the book,
Yeah.
first published my first book I've ever published, and soon to have another one in August. But I would say baby steps, but nah, like I'm not about that life.
Hey, she got that shit on.
Oh my God.
She
But this
got
is the
that
book
shit
that he
on. That
put
shit
out,
look vicious. Hold on. Let me.
don't it?
Look at is that the dragon
Mm,
behind them?
Yeah, it's
Because
a
it looks
dragon
like
looking down at both of them.
it
Yeah,
looks like
eyes
he's about to
glowing.
attack. I
yeah,
want that book.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. Looks so good.
And
That's
the
it.
metallic, all of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that it's thick. Ooh, I'm
Hmm.
excited.
Even
Hey,
with the glare, it's
it's gonna be a good
terrifying.
story.
Yeah.
I know. With the glare. Y'all
Looks
funny.
Yeah,
like
the
my
the
textbook.
glossy cover. I actually own the only book that has a matte cover.
Okay.
There's no
Oh,
mat
It's
cup. No.
it's no, it's the first and only one. This is the very first printed copy ever.
yeah.
Stays on my desk right here, but it's the only one with a
Oh,
matte cover because I wanted to see what it was like. Trent has the first glossy cover, and it was him who said, and I quote, and it's in the acknowledgments. Naima, I know you've probably seen it. He said,
oh, I
"Stop
saw
world
it.
building and just write the damn book." So I wrote the
And I
damn
could
book.
hear him when I read that, I heard it in his voice. I was like, because I know he's said this to me before. So
Is it gonna be a hardcover version?
There will be, yeah. I have to do some stuff with my cover artist because there's the dish because of the flaps, the dust cover. I've got to that's a little bit more money, so I'm just trying to make
oh,
sure everything works out. Because people are asking, they want hardcovers. I mean, so do I. But
I'm a
Or
fan of
both.
hardcovers,
hardcovers. That's just me.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, I
same.
like both. I like the hardcovers. Um, especially after because the paper cover I like to take in the bathtub. I take it with me. It's my traveling book.
Yeah,
But the hardcover is like, okay, nobody's around. Let me get the book out. Let me get my tea, and then
yeah.
it's more
yeah.
personal with the hardcover versus the paper cover. If somebody go, "Ooh, are you almost done with that? I want to read it." I guess I could lend you it, knowing that I probably won't get it back. But the hardcover, I'm like, nope, nobody needs to know that I have it in hardcover. Nope, get my tea, my coffee, whatever.
This is
No, I hear that.
my favorite. One
Yeah.
of my favorite
Jack.
Sonic.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
Jack
weird.
is into Sonic now.
Oh,
hardcovers. It won't show shit.
Of course he is.
Jack, he's so into Sonic that he got a blue a blue smiley sticker yesterday from gymnastics, and he goes, "This is my Sonic sticker. When I touch it, I go
Fantastic.
fast. Activate Sonic!" And then he's trying to run faster than me, so I had to run in slow mo. So he thinks he's going super fast, and then he beat me, and then he pressed it. He goes, "Deactivate!" So I had to hurry up and run.
Oh, I know he loves that
Aw.
Sonic 3 movie.
Oh, he
But-
loves Sonic now.
yo,
So,
I saw that Sonic 3 movie. That shit goes tough. But
oh my
go
God.
ahead.
Oh, Sonic. All right, so let's get into the Covenant Chronicles Inquisition. All right, so what actually inspired you to like create this world?
So the part of, I guess, my personal lore is, if any of you have heard, which if you haven't, I'd be surprised because everyone has. I played Dungeons and Dragons as a kid. My dad, who was a retired Marine, got me into it. Yep. So played that. But I started reading fantasy when I was like late elementary, early middle school. I'm talking like thick books because I learned how to read when I was really young, like 4 or 5. Like I could read.
Oh, I was younger than you.
My brother taught me how to read, which it's funny because I'm actually better than him at English, but he's better than me at like everything else, like math. Go figure.
Wow.
So I got immersed in. I've been writing since I was a kid, like back when computers had black screens and green text. Like
Damn.
that's how far back I was writing using
I probably should have
computers.
said damn like that. I felt like
No, but it's true though. It's true.
I felt like Kevin Hart for a second. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was warranted. That was definitely one of those moments. But so I've been writing since I was a kid. I was a big fan of D&D and played also like a lot of RPGs, fantasy games. Final Fantasy 2 and 3 for Super Nintendo were my jam. Like I watched my brother for hours play that, and I was obsessed with the stories, like obsessed. Flash forward to high school, and still writing, still doing all that. And the company that produced the books that were set in one of the campaign settings for Dungeons and Dragons, called Forgotten Realms, I eventually wanted to work for them. So I was like, okay, well, I got to go to college, get a degree, blah, 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 all that stuff. Well, a lot of things ended up not going that way. And why I say that is because first, I thought I wasn't going to be good enough to work for the company who made that stuff. So what did I do? I created my own. That was the big reason why I created my own. Then I joined the Army. And joined for college money. Of course, I ended up getting the college money, but it cost me a year-long tour in Iraq from 03 to 04. Nearly killed me. 1 star, do not recommend. Got out, started college, like I planned on doing. I actually applied to college while I was deployed and got in, because I was just trying to go anywhere I could get a degree. At that point, I didn't realize the name of a college actually meant something. I was just trying to go to college, so I didn't care where I went to school. I just went where I could get in. So, and I made pretty good grades in high school, but and took the SATs later, did that, but joined the National. So that was active duty. Then I joined the National Guard like 2 years after I got out because I missed the military. Was in college in Wilmington, North Carolina, at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington, going for a bachelor's in English. Took a break from school to deploy to Iraq again. So I took like a year and a half off. Then in 2012, graduated, started working for a tech company. But throughout that entire time, even my military time forward, I was building the world that the book is set in. The race, like some of the races you'll find in other fantasy: dragons, elves, dwarves, humans, and so on. But like, I also created my own breeds of dragon too. But the magic system I created, the faith, the pantheons, all the gods for the races, I created all of those. Everything that's there pretty much is like cities, nations, kingdoms, magic system, pantheons, relics, the whole nine. Like that was all. That's all here. So I knew I wanted to write a book. But I was like, well, authors can't make any money back. That's how I felt back then. But I know the publishing has been democratized now, thanks to like indie publishing and the platforms that allow that to happen, which is what I am. I'm an indie author. I didn't go traditional because I wanted full control over everything, which is a nightmare, by the way. But it carried me to where like I got the big map, which I'd have to turn, but it's like, right, it's giant, like 4 feet by 5 feet printed for the main
I
continent.
don't know why I turned my head like this. Like I can somehow see the map if I turn my head.
That was like thousands of dollars because graphic designers are not cheap. But I've been very blessed to have a really good paying job, and so I was able to afford that. And then I kind of went on like hiatus and did a bunch of world building, and then finally, being here and being with Trent, he saw me doing more world building, which I love history, I love mythology, so it's easy for me. I love it. But that, and like, again, to quote him in the acknowledgments that he said, stop world building and just write the damn book. So I wrote the damn book, and here we are, and I keep this copy on my desk at all times. So it's just been, it's one of those, like, considering what I've been through, just in life, not even include, like, you could even push the military stuff outside of that. Just everything has brought me to this point, and it was now or never.
Yeah.
And now I'm full speed ahead. First book is done. Second manuscript is done. Editing's happening right now. Like 1 book a year, as long as everything works out the way it's supposed to. And at a minimum 5, it could be longer because brevity is not my strong point, obviously. That's why the book is 650 pages.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
No, it's not bad.
Yeah, right?
That's not bad.
I'm still going through the book. Like, I'm still big. And it's thick, y'all. It is thick. Thick.
I've never heard anybody complain about thickness before.
By the way. He has a glossary for
Let
all
it be
the
known.
characters. So you can actually go and reference. Oh, Lordy. Because I don't want it to fall. You can literally reference certain
How to
things.
pronounce. Yep.
Like all of the races, the positions of the guards, all of that. It's so cool. Oh gosh, it's so cool.
And military ranks too. I created, like, I didn't, some fantasy, which I find kind of lazy, they'll use modern military ranks like a general or a lieutenant or a sergeant or something like that.
Yeah.
And now, mind you, unless you're writing portal fantasy where Earth is connected, some things like having the same animals like wolves and deer and lamb and whatever, like that, okay, we can keep that. But like, be creative and create your own stuff for your own militaries. And that's what I did. Like, I enlisted officer, warrant officer, created all the ranks, just like something, for instance, like the character on the book, Aiden, he's a dragon rider. He's the equivalent of a lieutenant, which is called a Latola.
Wait, is Aiden the black one with the lock?
Yep. Okay. Yes, he is.
I have a quick question about the cover also.
Okay.
So is Aiden kind of Trent? Like, is he based on Trent a little bit?
Just maybe in looks only, really.
Okay.
Because in conventional fantasy and Dungeons and Dragons, and I hate this about it, when they portray dark elves, one, they're all evil. Mine are not. They look exactly the same, men and women. Yeah. They all have this like flowing white hair, and I'm just like, stop it. My elves, they look like black folk. They could have textured hair, a fade, locks, bald, doesn't matter. And they have facial hair. Elves in fantasy do not have facial hair. Mine do. They grow goatees.
Like I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're all, look at Lord of the Rings. Look at Lord of the Rings. All their elves, none of them have facial hair. None. They never have. Not one.
Even the elven folk in 14, the NPC ones don't have any facial hair. Now that I think about it.
I never thought about it. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, like, and
Fantasy does not have any facial hair, no.
That's the level of detail that I pay attention to where like I talk about, because Aiden has a goatee, so does his dad, who's a general or the equivalent of a general, and I call that a Seth is the 4-star general equivalent, and it's got a dove with 4 diamonds of, so we call it, like, in modern American military, it's called a flag officer because they have flags and all the stars on them. That's why they're called that. But for me, it's called the ranks of the dove and diamonds, because on the elven flag, there's a dove, which ironically means peace, but they're warmongers.
Wow. Opposites attract.
You'll
Like
get a taste of that when you get to part 2. Yeah, you'll get a taste of that in part 2.
Oh,
And
I was going to wonder if
also,
opposites attract or propaganda, but go ahead.
I was gonna say, let me also say, because it's important, because yeah, I'm real big on world building. Okay, I feel like, mind you, I consume a lot of media when it comes to like anime and fantasy and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of times a bad anime can make up for it by having good world building. People call
Okay.
example of this, just real brief. An example of this, if you've ever seen My Hero, people think My Hero Academia is kind of like mid or okay, but the
Yeah,
world of My Hero Academia is like equivalent to that of like X-Men, like X-Men levels of depth. Yeah,
I love that.
it's like it emphasizes that the world is moving around them, despite it being like the main character. Like there are really other things going on, and I love when stories have that good world building to let you know that this is like the playground for like the character. It's not like you said D&D based. Like if you going that far, then
Yeah, and my 15-year-old niece loves My Hero. Like her and Trent bond over that. So like we're right here. But the world building is strong. And again, I'm a little biased, obviously, but I feel like considering the magnitude, the scope of what it is,
yeah,
it's intense, and it's very much like there's a whole other continent that I have to pay to have a really, really nice map done, but there is one that exists. And just between the human empire, the elven kingdom, all the nations, the races, how they all interact, like that's very rich and very detailed. And you get that in the book.
Okay.
But it's written in a way that's very black and white. And I don't mean that to be funny, because it's like light elves versus shadow elves. Like
yeah.
so is it like wait.
We actually need to go to a commercial, or the commercials actually.
Okay.
We will be right back with even more information and talking about Inquisition by Mark Mazzone, The Covenant Chronicles.
I love me and I love my fucking self. Ain't nothing wrong with being selfish. If you were me, you would be selfish too. Give me what I've been begging from you. I'm too cute, I'm a kawaii hoe. Give me all those clothes, let's go to the store. Pay these bills, give me cash, kawaii. I love me and I love my fucking self. Ain't nothing wrong with being selfish. If you were me, you would be selfish too. Give me what I've been begging from you. I'm too cute, I'm a kawaii hoe. Give me all those clothes, let's go to the store. Pay these bills, give me cash, kaka kawaii. I love me and I love my fucking self. Ain't nothing wrong with being selfish. If you were me, you would be selfish too. Give me what I've been begging from you. I'm too cute, I'm a kawaii hoe. Give me all those clothes, let's go to the store. Pay these bills, give me cash, kaka kawaii. I love me and I love my fucking self. Ain't nothing wrong with being selfish. If you were me, you would be selfish too. Give me what I've been begging from you. I'm too cute, I'm a kawaii hoe. Give me all those clothes, let's go to the store. Pay these bills, give me cash, kaka kawaii.
What is that noise? Is it done?
Welcome back, everyone.
I would say it's a ghost, but yes, welcome back.
It's a ghost, y'all. I swear to God. But
Not your normal, what do you call it? Possessions.
Paranormal discussion.
Yeah.
Yes. Because you always gotta go to your
they got
house.
She
jokes.
got some
They have
not your
jokes.
normal paranormal activity going on over there.
I do.
Speaking of
Like my
Paul.
phone started making a noise. But we are back with Mark Mazzone, with who is the author of the Covenant Chronicles, Book 1, Inquisition.
Woo!
I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
So what was? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was about to say, anybody got questions? Go ahead.
Oh,
My
yeah, a ton.
Yeah, me too.
No, but go ahead. You started talking, Nina.
Author, you could wait later. Jeez. What was what was the most fun part of writing your book?
The end. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, short of surviving Iraq, this was probably one of my largest accomplishments in my entire life. But no, I think the best part is like when you hit certain scenes and I guess because I'm a writer, it probably means something different. But like when you write the characters and you place yourself there to get a feeling for everything that's happening, and like I'm man enough to admit this, like I cried writing this book because there were things that were so personal to me, and I wanted yes, I wrote this book for me technically, but now I actually have an audience, which is crazy. But now I want the readers to be like emotionally wrecked too, like I was.
Yep.
So, and I think I actually made my first alpha reader cry, and then I made another alpha reader. She was so emotionally distraught she had to put the book down and come back to it. So I apparently did. I think I did a good job.
Oh,
maybe
don't tell
not.
me
If that was
that.
the
Yeah,
point,
you did
then
that.
you did that.
No.
You did that.
Don't tell me.
Yeah.
I cried so bad with the book Mice of Men that my mom thought that my best friend passed away or something.
Oh, girl, you are in trouble then. Just like what said on
Yes.
Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg, you in danger, girl.
Oh man, I mean, from the beginning
Oh, I
of it
can't
though,
wait.
it starts.
Yeah, that's
I get
my favorite.
invested in these characters.
Oh, you will, and then you're gonna get pissed off in the middle, but that's a story for another time. But no, my favorite part was definitely it's the best part about writing the book was just getting immersed with the characters and just like making them them being relatable. There's people, whether it's part 1 in the beginning of Elven civilization or part 2, which is a gigantic time jump to the present day, where you meet the dragons and the riders and the whole dynamic and a lot of the really messed up things that happen. I mean, there's messed up things that happen in part 1 too, but it's just that relatability, that emotion, that immersion, all like that's what I really love, because I think for that it makes it more real, not just for me, but for people who read it, because I want people, just even on the cover, like there's going to be a kid who's just like, I look like him. Same thing that happened with Black Panther. He's like, I look like him.
Yeah,
That's like, and I'm not doing
absolutely.
it to check a box. It's just like, this is,
Yeah,
I feel I wanted my elves to look like real black people because
yeah,
elves are not a monolith, just like black people aren't a monolith. Like, so we need to break out of that. And it's the relatability. It's all the emotion that comes with it. And that's I think what I love most about writing, because it's very therapeutic for me to be able to write this.
oh yeah, absolutely.
So that's my really long-winded way of answering your question. But again, brevity is not my strong point.
Another question I have, because since I really want to support your book, but I want to get more sense of your characters. So, which character was your toughest character? Which one was your favorite to write? And which one is you would consider the funniest?
Okay, so remember those three questions because I might forget.
Okay.
So first one was, you asked the toughest one to write.
Mhm.
The Queen, because I am not a powerful and strong black woman.
Okay.
Real talk. Like, think Angela Bassett, because I'm a huge fan. As that's the energy she's get, like stacking bodies, no bullshit.
Mhm.
Like, she's here, but she's also like loyal to her husband, to her people, and to her inner circle. So I had to bring all of that together. Your next question was my favorite one to write. Was that what you asked? So I'm going to pose that with a question of part one or part two or both.
Both.
Okay. Ooh.
So you can give me one of each if you want, but
That's
overall,
not fair.
which is your favorite?
That's not fair, because I have my three favorites in part one, but I have to pick one. I'm gonna God, this is not fair. The Queen, hands down, because she she not
amazing.
Queen Petey. You know what's up. You know what's up.
Dude, she is. I want to be her when I grow up.
Like, I love an alpha female. I live for that. Like, my mother, my old boss, and now mind you, these are women of color too. So I get it. The Queen, and everyone's just like, dang, the Queen's a savage. I told y'all, I wasn't lying. And part two, if I'm I almost feel like I have to choose between people who aren't dragons and the dragons, because the dragons are characters too. They have they talk, they have their own personality. Okay. So I'm gonna break it down. Non-dragons, I would have to say it's a toss-up because they're best friends.
Which is the best?
Which
is better than the other? Come on.
It's if I have to choose one or the other,
you gotta choose one of your children.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone got favorites though. Everyone got favorites. Nina, don't even play like you don't.
Oh, they know.
Don't even play.
Yeah, I am not the favorite. It's okay. I'm okay with that.
Aiden, the one who's on the cover.
Okay.
He gets picked on, and he comes from a very well-off family. His dad's a general. It's the humor, which I'm not outwardly funny, but if someone comes for me, I got you.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But Aiden, I would say especially in book 2. Oh my God. Aiden is my favorite. Now, if we're talking dragons, it's Marius's dragon Ermin, which is short. I have a really long name. Hold on, let me consult the glossary.
Glossary?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to cosplay.
I said there's a glossary in the back.
She did say it.
Is it a D&D related glossary or just your world related glossary? Or a little bit of both?
His world.
It's a little bit of both. Yeah, it's got dragons.
Okay.
Dragons names, military ranks, people, places, deities,
it's amazing.
relics.
I need to play D&D. I've been dying to play. I
I
tried to
know
play with
it makes
Charlie.
you want to, though. It really does. Like when I was
So
Those
reading
are the
it, I
ones
was
that came
like,
out on
dang, I
Netflix.
can
I
see
would definitely
myself
play
as
that.
this little
okay,
queen.
like so Ermin, that's the short version of his name, but it's Ermin Sedanaran. That's the long version of his name. But I usually like I'll give in the book, I'll give the long first, and then I'll truncate it from like that point
Okay.
on. But even like some of the like the general's dragon, which is a black dragon, Goth Denouement, but we call him Goth for short, which is ironic because he's a black dragon. That was intentional.
God. Okay.
But no,
I got
Ermin hands down is like my favorite dragon.
Okay.
okay.
Aiden's dragon, she's a little
Personalities?
snappy. Yeah, they talk.
Which
Like,
speaks
can
for
they talk
itself.
like English or Elvish to each other
So
and to the
they
writers, or
Do they
is it
auto
through?
translate?
auto train. That's funny.
I like that.
So the dragons have telepathic links to the riders because of what's called the binding ceremony,
Okay.
which that's mentioned, but it actually goes into a lot of detail in book 2, so something to look forward to. But the dragons before they meet the riders are actually trained to like they're intelligent creatures because there's domesticated dragons and there's wild dragons.
Yeah.
The riders have domesticated dragons, and that's a whole thing that lore is a whole other thing too. But the dragons learn the language. They learn not only their own native tongue because they're dragons, but they also learn like they have to know Elvish as well.
Okay.
So, but if you read what's English in the fantasy book, just like in D&D, it's the common tongue.
It's the common, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. The common tongue. Or
Yeah.
Okay.
do they, but now, my question, now that we know that they talk, because me and you both know, in D&D, when a motherfucking dragon talks, it's some
You listen.
yeah, I'm about to say we're talking about what's his name? Neil Bolas. That's a Magic the Gathering, the real big bad.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dragons talking in D&D is never really good. It's like Elder Dragon territory almost. So it's like, how strong are these dragons if they're talking?
They're powerful dragons, but the older ones say a lot less than the younger ones. And when the older ones speak, then you know, like if he like just like the general, he's like 700 years old out of because the elves live to be about 1,000.
Yeah.
He's older, more experienced. His dragon is older and bigger and more powerful. So like to the average viewer, Ermin is a youngin. Like he's older, but he's still young by like dragon standards. Yeah. So that's the dragons are something to behold, but they are treated just like normal characters. They have emotion. Like no spoilers, but I will say in book 2, what happens to Ermin specifically, like that shit broke. He doesn't die, but that shit broke my heart. Like that made me actually cry because of what he experienced. Like it was gut wrenching.
Oh,
and that wasn't even in the outline. I just went with it. So
they didn't.
Yeah.
You were able to translate that feeling really, really well. Whatever you were trying to. And as a creator, I understand.
And the cover of book 2 is actually going to be taken from that scene because it's something that happened during the binding.
God.
It's sad. It's sad and beautiful all at the same time. It really is. Like it's a very tender moment between Marius and his dragon.
Oh my god. I can only imagine. No, because okay, so like I said, are you familiar with Naruto at all?
A little bit, like very little. Like I know of it, but that's about it.
To the main character, that when he died, I cried, and then I stopped reading the manga for like a month or two.
Damn.
It hit me that much because it was like not only did it hit me, I was like, damn, the main character doesn't even know yet, so I'm already feeling bad for him when he finds out because like he never really that's like his grandfather essentially taught him how to fight, taught him everything he needed to know, leveled him up, learned his stuff, and then he's dead. It's like, ooh, he doesn't know. So I felt bad. If you can translate that feeling and you get people to go from there to that point to it's like, shit, man.
It feels like your best friend dying because that actually happened to me before. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, right. So if you can translate that and you get us to feel that because we love the characters too. Like I didn't cry when Mercutio died in the Romeo and Juliet, But I was fucking with Mercutio when he came out. I was like, oh, this motherfucker's cool as shit. He clown, little funny character. Oh shit, he killed him. Damn, he played him a little bit too fucking much. I guess. But I was like, damn, my
Yeah.
nigga. Oh my god, what the hell? Why he dead?
Yeah. And that's why I feel the way I do about the characters. That's why in part one, like it's the Queen, Tariq. It looks like Tarek, but it's Tariq.
Okay.
Um,
Tariq.
Like, yeah, he's got, and then there's Azan, spelled Azaan. Again, it's all in the glossary, but like those three make part one.
Ooh.
So, but then there's a time jump, and it's like beginning of Elven civilization, gigantic time jump. Now we're in the present day. That's when you meet Marius, Aiden, all the dragon riders, Aiden's dad, the commander, like the company commander, who's like their superior officer. Like you meet everybody else. You meet the dragons. They're kind of wild. Aiden's dragon, she's kind of witty, but she doesn't talk a whole lot. She's just like, if you like, basically you're a fucking idiot kind of thing. Like that. I'm paraphrasing what she said, but the drag, and then there's one who like basically acts like an old man because he fucking hates everybody, and his rider is the same way.
Yeah.
Oh, they can hate everything indiscriminately.
Yeah, there you go. They're on one track mind right there. One track mind.
Cool. Okay. So I have a ton of questions,
Here we go.
but I want to see how to put it, time and everything like that, compress it into. So on one hand, there's both in the zeitgeist, with Fourth Wing and other things, a lot of interest.
God, why did you say that?
But here's why. I'm going to tie it to the other question. So, one, there is a lot of interest in, dragon rider stories. One, I'm wondering, do you feel for you, but not just for you, for a lot of people out there reading, is because we resent how Game of Thrones ended? That's one. And then two.
Well, I never saw Game of Thrones.
Game of
Girl.
Thrones, the ending was trash. It's the most trash ending.
I never saw it. I'm sorry, y'all. I did not see Game of Thrones. I wanted to read the book before I looked at the theories.
No, I'm gonna need to read it. Watch it first. Watch it and then read it. Because I hate reading books. Yeah, for me, if I read a book, I'm so into the details of the book. Like when the first Harry Potter came out, I was in the movie theater. People were about to kill me because I kept going, no, this is not right. They forgot this part. They forgot that. I hate
not
this
you. Yeah, in the movie theaters.
I was that person in the movie theater because I was younger and I didn't realize that books and movies could be completely different. And they take so much away from the book.
Yeah.
And
the
details
book becomes the director's cut. That's my going theory of Harry Potter. I always say that the movies are okay, but if you really want the director's cut of the book of the movie, read the book. I promise you.
Give me 10. I want them to. I don't care if I sit in the movie theater for 10 hours. I want to see every detail of the book in the movie, and I will be one of the few people that would sit there and just watch it because I love details. So if they said that Harry Potter hair is pink and he comes out with blue hair, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah. No, that's big fair.
But
so for Game of Thrones, what's your second part of your question?
So seeing how deeply, world building matters to you, where again, you got this in-depth gloss where you thought about, the names and titles and ranks of things and, how people are, especially in modern fantasy, describing these things. You even thought about, the fact that none of us notice. A lot of people probably don't notice. A lot of elves don't have, elves just don't have facial hair. There's something that matters to you. And then talking about the acknowledgement from your friend Trent, from your editor. How I can tell world building and magic systems and these things are extremely important to you. How do you get to the point of making sure you're not cramming all of that into your first book and allowing that to expand over the course of your stories? And what, especially as much world building as, you've done, what was the trigger to finally get you to that point of getting to write and getting to emotions and putting it onto the paper instead of continuing to flesh out your map of this entire universe for even more years.
So I'll answer your second question first, because the first question is actually easier. With world building, I don't cram it all in one. There's pieces that get introduced. So some things are necessary, like the military ranks. I created a calendar for months, so stuff like that, is necessary to tell the story, but I don't cram it all in once. I don't there's 120 deities. I mentioned 5 or 6, 4 of which have, and Miss Petey, you'll get there, but 4 of whom have very, very prominent roles. Because it's not what you think, because they are conniving. They are the way, and this is part of the world building, it's magic users who don't need deities to get their magic versus priests who require deities to be the conduit for the magic they access. There is the fight between them, especially for elves. They do not like. They mages hate priests with a passion.
Yeah.
They're all on the same team, but mages and this guy right here, this white dude right here, this white elf, he is actually the most powerful elven mage in the Elven Kingdom. Hands down. He has 2 titles, either the Magaseer or the First Cloak. Those are the 2 titles. But as far as world building goes, though, it's going to be spread out over the books, because I'm focusing on the chunks that matter for that book. That's, I think, to capture your second question. For your first question, the one back a little bit, Game of Thrones didn't have real dragons. First of all, they're wyverns. Let's call them what they are.
Yes.
But I will die on that hill. I will.
Wait, so it was that bad?
Yes. Anyone who knows anything about actual fan, I will give props to George R. R. Martin. He is talented as all get out. However, he made fantasy, which didn't even have real magic. Let's call it what it is. He made it accessible to people who are just dipping their feet in the water. But where he screwed up was he didn't introduce certain aspects the way they needed to. For instance, don't call a wyvern a dragon and vice versa. That's not what they are. Dragons have 2 arms, 2 legs, and 2 wings. 4 limbs, not including the wings. In Game of Thrones, they had 2 legs and 2 wings. Where the fuck are their arms? What in the world?
Wait. See, I never saw it, so I'm just sitting here
But most of them definitely were wyverns, yeah. And
and they were also all pretty much the same breed. They all breathe fire, which is lazy, because we all know dragons. I created mystical breeds that it could be a pulsing energy weapon as their breath. That's how detailed my stuff gets. But to your point, Tris, or to your question, I think yes, people were upset about how Game of Thrones ended, but I think Game of Thrones lit that fire.
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say that.
Where Fourth Wing succeeded was it is romantasy. That was her first foray into fantasy. She was purely romance, but even she did. I will give her credit. She pulled a Game of Thrones where making it accessible, and most readers of fantasy are female. I learned this during my book signing at Barnes & Noble. Most of my buyers were female, which was super awesome. Yeah, I loved that. I loved it. It was great. Especially these 2 old ladies who bought books. It was cute as shit because they were reading it together. But it made it made fantasy more accessible, which I love, because I love when people are reading, but it's disingenuous in the sense that the true
representation. No.
Thank you. That right there. It's not the true representation. So there are inaccuracies, and that causes people to kind of butt heads, because me and you, Leon, we're right here. We know what it is and what it's not. I'm not gonna trash someone for loving what they love. If you like it, I love it. Okay.
Right.
But I'm still going to correct you.
Yeah.
I'm still going to correct you to make sure you have the information you need to speak truly, honestly, and authentically about all of it, because we don't need you spreading that bullshit to somebody else.
Yeah. Because they don't know.
The dragon that has only 2 feet.
No, okay. I was going to say, because Game of Thrones definitely did light the fire and made it accessible for people who like fantasy for more than just a movie, like Aragon or something. to have
Ugh.
something they could watch continuously.
It's trash.
I know I said Aragon. I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
This
I
is,
know.
I'm trying to wait. So wait, in Game of Thrones,
here we go.
they had dragons that just had feet.
They use their
Dragons
wings.
like this.
They put the wings to kind of move.
Yeah, they
I
use
guess more
their
like
they
bats.
basically,
Yeah.
more like
Their
bats.
talons.
Yeah,
Bat.
yeah, they're like bats.
Yeah,
Giant
Yeah,
reptilian
just-
bats.
big ass chickens. Really?
Okay.
Big, actually,
Thank
yes,
you.
yes. Big
'Cause,
ass chickens.
I just don't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. I thought they had dragons. Wait, do they have little claws on their wings?
Mhm.
They had claws at the edge of the wings. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
they're little nubs. That's
Little
like
nubs.
it shit
Yeah, I
was
know what you
ridiculous, but
It is. All right. I was so sorry.
but yeah,
y'all.
those are no, you're good. That's I think how I feel about like how it became popular. But when Rebecca Yarros wrote Fourth Wing, because it's romantasy,
Mhm.
key thing, not because it's fantasy, because it's romance first.
Yeah,
Fantasy, it's romance with the veneer of fantasy.
yeah.
That's not done very well. Like I can get behind a romance, sure. I mean, I love Bridgerton because if I will not read a romance novel, but I love Bridgerton, go figure. But and I will never have explicit sex in any of my books because that's not. Will I have a hint of romance? Sure. Is it in book one? No. However, I can still incorporate elements to where like it's mentioned, but it's barely even a subplot of the main sort of the story arc.
Yeah.
So
Nice much.
I mean,
but like my own cousin, she's like, it does.
Fucking Harry or Hermione. We had like 7 fucking books of us pondering what the fuck they were going to do with this subplot romance.
Listen, the lingering,
Huh?
the longing, the yearning.
I was like, what the?
Yeah, and it's like it's insta love versus the slow burn, and even like there's a little bit of like my own cousin. She's like, well, for the girlies, you need to include a little bit of romance, and I was just like, But then it wrote itself.
The tank, and then you let them
Yeah.
write
Not
fiction.
to tickle the tank.
Yeah, let them do their own
and then-
fangirling.
Did you
And the
say
character,
that?
And then they make their ships because that's what they do.
Did you
yeah, and
just
then the
say
characters, like the way I introduced them in book 2, like I mean, that was actually really easy to write. Both like the very healthy, because I hear about this a lot. The very like they talk about in TV and other things where there's a lot of unhealthy Black relationships. I went the opposite way. I wrote a healthy Black relationship that's also in the military, which is very unhealthy.
Yeah.
But it's a loving, committed, faithful, monogamous, like he still looks at her like they first started dating kind of love, and they've been together for centuries. And they're still doing the damn thing. Like,
I want that. It's like
You got that.
I'm messing with you. I know I got it.
so again, with the world building and stuff like that, it's just it really comes down to including the lore where it's most appropriate and not overwhelming the reader with just an info dump. Because Fourth Wing, I'm not here to shit on a book, but the one thing I will say about it is though, the world building was horribly done. You can't just drop like what? No, just no. Like
Unpopular
I
opinion,
cannot.
I felt the same way about Lord of the Rings. I felt like
That, yep.
don't get me wrong, I love Lord of the Rings once you get past, but you would spend pages upon pages describing an area before we even get into the meat and potatoes of what's going on. And I would get lost in the sauce because I'm like, damn, I don't know if I can remember everything that was going on in the first place.
But you remember that the grass is green and it sways in the wind.
Yeah, like what the what? Okay, but he's a genius. Whatever. I'm not.
Yeah, I hope that answered your question though.
So it answered basically most of my questions. The other one that was in there, that other nugget, was more so, how did you get to that place? Because I can tell you still thought very in-depthly about all these things. How did you get to that place of, all right, let's get to writing, like, and how do you keep that consistency with it? Because for
I
me,
have a question too, but I'm gonna wait till after we come back.
because with me, I'm just like, well, damn, there's certain things I'm doing with my like godlike beings. I'm like, I still got to get to certain depth levels of like what that looks like, and I'm writing a short story now. I'm finding it easier to, write that. But for my bigger series, I'm just like, dear God, may the world not end before I finally finish this.
Same,
So,
same. I'll give a quick piece to the
Well,
first part of that, and then I'll go
um,
ahead.
Hold on, real quick.
actually, let's just hold that
Okay,
answer. I'm
I
so
got you.
sorry.
the
Okay,
lingering, the longing.
the longing. All
Slow
right,
burn,
we
slow
will be
burn.
back with the answer to that question, and I will put actually, you guys can start trying to hop in if you guys want to ask him some questions
Get on
yourselves.
in here.
All righty. All right. We'll see you in a few.
I love me and I love my fucking self. Ain't nothing wrong with being selfish. If you were me, you would be selfish too. Give me what I've been begging from you. I'm too cute, I'm a kawaii ho. Give me all those clothes, let's go to the store. Pay these bills, give me cash, kawaii. I love me and I love my fucking self. Ain't nothing wrong with being selfish. If you were me, you would be selfish too. Give me what I've been begging from you. I'm too cute, I'm a kawaii ho. Give me all those clothes, let's go to the store. Pay these bills, give me cash, kawaii. I love me and I love my fucking self. Ain't nothing wrong with being selfish. If you were me, you would be selfish too. Give me what I've been begging from you. I'm too cute, I'm a kawaii ho. Give me all those clothes, let's go to the store. Pay these bills, give me cash, kawaii.
We are back.
Hey,
I
hey,
saw
hey.
you mocking me. But
I
yes,
want to say it one day.
it's okay. All right. So if you wanted to give the answer to that question,
I'm
and then
gonna
let me,
need Tris to ask it just
I was
one
gonna
more
say, can
time.
you ask it one more
Just
time? That last
yeah.
part.
because I actually typed it
So
out.
I'm trying to
yeah,
follow it too.
so essentially, what, especially as much as you've thought about what you've seen
Oh,
wrong or not fully fleshed out in other fantasy stories, and how much work you've put into this universe and these characters and these worlds, what helps you finally actually get it written down and not stopping to edit where as you're going along?
yeah,
Oh yeah, that's
that's my
that's a,
issue.
that's a good question. Yeah.
People's expectations. Just kidding, but
I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
um
yes.
once people find out, so this is kind of like the intro to the answer. Once people found out, they're like, oh, Mark's writing a book. Awesome. They know me. They know I'm a writer. I have an English degree. But they're like, oh, shit, Mark's writing a fantasy book? They don't know my quality of writing, but like, I want to buy that. And I'm just like, okay. So I initially did this only for me. But then the audience grew by itself.
Yep.
So I
Mm.
was like, I got y'all, but pony up. Okay.
Oh,
Because I ain't doing this for free. Like only a few people, got gifted books, current company
mm.
included.
Because
By the way, it's a late birthday present. I
I'm
got hooked up.
love.
It's all love. You know that. It's all love. So, and then you can pass it on to Leon when you're done. But
Yes. Ooh.
Please and thank you.
unless he wants his own signed copy, then that's something else. But
I might. I might.
you just let me know.
might.
We'll talk.
Yeah, no.
We'll talk. But as far as like kind of just sitting down and getting the writing done, I don't edit while I write. I don't. I get it all out and just like I do. Like I'm now in round 2 of reading the manuscript.
Okay.
The first part was because after about, and I call my chapters episodes because I'm thinking like this could be a
Mm.
TV show.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
it's literally like episode 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever.
Yeah.
But I messed up because in book 2, I wrote like I had separated the first 3 and I didn't do the remainder of them. I did like scene breaks, so I had to go through and read through because it has a day, month, year, and location stamp. So you know chronologically where you and something do like part 1 only takes the time over like a week. Like that's it.
Mm.
It's crazy.
That's insane. What?
Like
600
maybe
pages in a week?
well part 1 is
Nice.
like a
Part
week,
one
week
of
and a
the
half.
first book. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
and
a
part
week.
2 is about the same amount of time. Like that's how like did you ever see the show 24? It's like
Yeah.
that's how much happens
Okay.
in a
Damn.
24-hour period. So from morning to noon to night to next morning, it just keeps going. So it's like you're following it step by step by step. But I don't edit until the end. And then I look for certain things like making sure like I reference someone properly or like the timeline follows because that's important for me for a number of reasons. But I think once, how do I put this? As massive as the world is, this is going to sound so cheesy, but there's just a time when you just know. Like it's get it on the page. That's why I like there's what's called plotters and pantsers. Plotters are meticulous outliners. So you've heard of it.
Yeah.
I see you shaking your head.
I have-
Okay, yeah. So
I
like
was just
for
listening.
for everyone else, plotters are meticulous outliners. Pantsers, as the name implies, you're flying by the seat of your pants how you write. So you're not really outlining or planning anything. I'm a mix of both. Book 2, I had maybe 4 episodes, high level, nothing like super specific, aside from a few things. High level outlines, no bullshit. Most of the book was not even in the outline. The story flowed in such a way, like
It became a beast.
again, I'm biased, but the way it was woven together was, and y'all can decide this when you read the book and then tell me if I'm wrong later. But I think it was so masterfully done that it's just like, yo, that's really fucked up that happened. And just like,
Yeah.
when you finally learn what's connected to something, like part 1 and part 2 in book 1 are connected, even though there's like a thousands of years time difference. But it, like, and Miss Petey, you'll learn this too. But just because it doesn't seem like it is,
Right.
but because of like certain forces and factions and factors, it all goes back to part 1. You're just like, these fools were plotting this shit from the beginning.
Interesting.
And then you learn who people really are. So it's just like when I'm writing, like I said, you just know. You just go for it, you write it, and then you keep track of something. Sure, like I started making notes so I could like follow it because there's a lot of characters. But I had to make sure I kept track of those because it's like descriptions and some other things so I get certain details right and consistent. Yeah. But that consistency is key to everything making sense because the hardcore readers pick up on stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
They will crucify you over something being like, well, you said he had black hair here, and now it's curly and brown hair. Like, what?
In fact, you know,
got a perm.
You know who Todd McFarlane is?
Oh, yes, I do. Yep.
Yeah, so somebody actually asked him a question about that because they were like, "Oh, Todd McFarlane, we saw that you had some inconsistencies in your artwork where Spawn had his cape looking like this, and now he doesn't have the cape. What's up with that? Or it looks like this now. What's up with that?" And he came up with the bright idea because, of course, there are going to be inconsistencies sometimes when you're doing editing.
Yeah.
He just said it's part of his suit. It's living. It's alive.
So the suit is alive.
The suit is alive.
That is such a cop out.
That makes sense.
I get it. That's lazy though. That's lazy.
It is lazy. It is.
But it's just like me describing the size of Marius compared to Aiden. They're both like swole dudes because you have to be tip top shape no matter how old you are to be a dragon rider. Like you need to be like they work out. Like I literally mentioned in the book. They go work out. They like double up on their meals because they're packing like these dudes are swole. Yeah. And they train together, but there's also jokes made about their size and like, oh, like your ass is looking kind of fat in those pants. Like maybe you need to like go up a size. Like that actually happened.
Not your ass looking fat in them pants.
Like,
No, I think the word actually used was thick. Like you're looking a little thick back there. So
not them
that kind of humor.
I mean, when you got the goods, right? Everybody loves Thanksgiving. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you ain't wrong. And that's the thing, like in the military, like I was in an infantry unit being a communications guy. So I was basically a grunt with a radio. When I tell you like all bets are off, and especially when they found out I was gay, they're just like, dude, the jokes just kept coming. I'm like, okay, I got you. So I fired back on them. Like, don't come for me unless I said for you. Like, don't do that. So I took that humor.
More, honey.
I took all that humor and put it into the Dragon Rider squad because they essentially are like my experience, but in fiction.
Gotcha.
You see it across the female characters. You see it across the male characters. Doesn't matter if they're black, white. There's different. I call them skin, so races: moon elf, sea elf, shadow elf, wood elf, stone elf, light elf, and sun elf.
Yeah.
And you could say they kind of represent maybe like modern races, but not with the exception of like light and shadow elves, not really. Because it's like white people, black people.
Light Netflix movie. Special.
No.
I forgot about that movie.
I didn't.
I forgot about it. Oh,
it's one of those ones that had an okay narrative, but it failed to give me the world building. Like I failed to give a lot. Wanting more, and it gave me like this really small piece of it, and I was just like, "Are you going to make another one so you can build upon this idea that sounds like a really good idea if you expand on it?" Like, nope, this is it. I'm like, well, if I just go off of this alone, this is bad. So this is not.
Less is hard, sure.
It's okay, I guess, but it goes into those stereotypes you were talking about when it comes to certain races and creature types and everything.
Very much that. Tris, was that like, I feel like I left something out, but did I answer your question the way you wanted?
You did. It's this I do.
Oh, consistency.
Yeah.
That was the other thing too. So that I keep a tracker of my page count and word counts. I'm not a math guy. That's why I have an English degree. My brother's an engineer. Go figure. But for me, like, I mean, I'm a combat veteran, so you can assume the shit I have to deal with here. And I don't make an attempt to hide that. Like, I'm very, very, like, I've written in my Substack. You know, I know Miss Petey has probably seen when I talk about my experience. I am very honest and very transparent about that, and it nearly killed me.
Yeah.
So I've also known people who died in combat, and I bring a lot of that. That's why, like, and I'm not going to spoil it because something really bad happens.
You're getting close. I'm starting to get the riot vibes.
That level of emotion, like, whether it's my best friend dying, he didn't die in combat. He just dropped dead in front of his kids.
Damn.
But I've had friends who were killed my first tour. I had guys I knew killed my second tour. But also, like, I've had friends who, a long time after the fact, I hadn't heard from in a while, and I actually remembered a friend's full name, like all of it. Why, I don't know, but I did. Looked it up, and the first thing that came up was his obituary. I was not right for like 2 days in public. Like, I was crying in public.
Oh.
But like I said, I'm not saying it to solicit sympathy or anything. It's just like, when guys go through that, there's a lot they don't talk about because that's just what men do. And it's worse, so much worse, and it's actually covered in this book, because black elves, black men, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but black men, especially more traditional ones, do not show emotion, and they think people who do are weak. Am I wrong?
Traditionally, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kendrick Lamar kind of helping us out, but yes.
Yeah.
But I bring like that into the story, but it's not just limited to Shadow Elves, though. It's like across all of them.
Yeah.
But that consistency, like, there was times in book 2 where there was weeks I didn't write. But then everything just kind of took off in March, and I beat my first book record. I knocked out 121 pages in a week, about 72,000 words, and that was 7 days straight of writing, compared to book 1, which was 6 days and 93 pages.
Wow.
I was tired.
He was like updating us like all the time on Facebook, like with his statuses. And I was like, oh my God, I was just always so happy because I'm like, I remembered like the last time I saw you, you were telling me you were trying to get the artwork, and I believe it was this artwork, or was it the dragon, or was it him? It was Aiden, I believe you were showing.
Yeah, I think it was Aiden.
It was Aiden. Yeah, he was showing me Aiden, and I was like really excited. I was like, okay, like I'm ready to read this. Like, and this is like way before you started writing. So, y'all.
Yeah, but the consistency is I was a lot more with it with book 1, but we were in a different world back then too. Goes without saying. So I just had to like dig deep and really like get, like, when I tell you, especially writing 7 days straight, like, my goal was take a week off, because I'm blessed. I'm very privileged in that regard to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And it be paid. But and several of my coworkers bought books too, so that was awesome. And one of them actually hit me up. She hit me today. She's like, "So when book 2 coming out?" I'm like, "August." She's like, and we talked about it. She gave me some feedback, which was nice.
Yeah.
But there were times when I was writing, especially that week, where I had to push through this to get words on page, especially when I hit like some sad moments or some really intense moments, because it's just like I had to put everything about me on the back burner to make version 2 or book 2 happen. And my original goal was to finish the manuscript for book 2 by the end of March. The last day I finished that manuscript, because Trent also said, because I almost made it 900 pages. He's like, take these things, push them to book 3. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. And instead do an epilogue, which was a challenge because I encapsulated a very, very powerful scene in 3 pages. The kind of thing that just make you like, oh shit, like, and you are there. It like, and one of the characters I introduce, and I'll just say he's a love interest of somebody, and that's where I'll leave it. But like, he is done in a way that like, it should. Leon, he's a ranger. He's a ranger.
It's one of my favorite classes. Go ahead.
So you'll fuck with him. But he like his even like weaving him into the love interest part and like it's very very like I said, I'm a sucker for a rom-com. I can admit that openly. And I love Bridgerton, and I'm not even joking. I was writing
my
when
God. Go ahead. Yes.
so
Oh,
there
what'd you say?
there is a gay character. I'm not going to say who.
Okay. Oh,
That character is in the love interest when essentially they meet the gay. I mean, you can. It's within the like the main writer squad, so it's one of 5 people.
Yeah.
What's
Gotcha.
not the female? We'll just clear that up right now. It's not the female, but she's a boss though.
Okay.
And she likes to pick on the gay character and one of the other ones because they're that tight. But no joke, I listen to like a lot of Bridgerton music because it's like basically like orchestral, like classical versions of pop songs and stuff.
Yeah.
I love that music. So no kidding, no joke. I'm writing a major scene where the love interest like reaches for the gay character, and as that happens, the intro theme to Bridgerton comes on just like that. I'm just like, oh my God, like it was cute. Like it was like I can't think of any other way to describe it but that. But I was there. Like I was like mentally there for all of it. And I'm just like, I feel how these characters feel. I know it though, like anyone who's met someone for the first time and they feel that just that emote. Yeah, thank you. That tingling, that charge, that whatever you want to call it. So like I said, I don't fuck with romance like that. But the way it's done in the book, it's not gratuitous. There's no sex. There's flirting. There's you learning family history. Why your family doesn't get down with how you get down? Like, who knows who doesn't?
Because normally
no,
it's not heavy. It's normally half-assed. You got to have balance. If you have balance, you'll keep people involved in the process of what's happening on that side because it's not in the forefront. As long as it's
I almost didn't do it. Like I'm not, like I said, I'm not shy to talk about therapy or anything like that because I have a therapist and that saved my life actually. But I talked to her about, and she's former military herself. She's amazing. She came to the book signing and bought a book for herself and for my former therapist because he couldn't make it, which was really cool. But I talked to her about it and I said, I almost didn't put in a gay character because I thought it would turn people off. But she's like, you know what? No, be your authentic self. This is your story. If they don't like it, basically fuck them.
Yeah.
You didn't make this for them to begin with.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For you.
Right there.
Why are you worried about something that wasn't even your original goal? Like, if they like it, it's a byproduct of what you like about yourself.
And also, like, it's more realistic too because in the military, most people know someone who they served with that was gay.
Yeah.
Like, so it's very realistic in that regard too. But the humor, the interactions, like, I mean, just like I never saw the movie, which I'm ashamed to admit, but Starship Troopers, the men and the females, they shower together. So do the Dragon Riders. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. Y'all are all showering together because they're not rapists. Like, I bring all of that.
Can't be a rapist. I think the dragons would squash you, right? Like,
I mean, they're very protective of the riders and each other. But that that dynamic and that authenticity, that like I bring all that to the table. And once I started writing it, and again, this goes with consistency, I owned it. I kept going, and it also tested me in the sense that I had never written anything romance ever. But I have plenty of good examples, just really from TV, honestly. But I also had to think back to when I was like running the streets. Which is funny because one of the main characters talks about the king not catching him in the streets because the dude's like beat his ass kind of thing. But that's a book 2 thing to look forward to.
Okay.
But like you have this dynamic where like the gay character is a dog, but the love interest is like a bit more old fashioned. So those worlds are colliding too. I'm biased. I'm biased, but I think it's beautifully done. It's endearing. it's relatable, it's all those
Yeah.
things like that you want with a character. Even though it's fantasy, this shit feels real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It does. Like when I was reading and like I was just starting just from like the first chapter, from the first line, like I could instantly just imagine this literally being an episode of like a show,
That's good.
Like
That's good. That's how it should be.
yeah, like, and that's what I like about books. If I can't imagine what is going on, then
Mhm.
what is the point?
And get your
You
point
know?
across quickly, because not everyone has like a long attention span to
Mm.
go through a damn Lord of the Rings description of
Me.
a fucking tree.
Right. Okay.
Well, it's not
Okay.
that.
No, it really is like that. I'm just saying.
Yo,
you
it sounds
can
like
get
you
your-
were
He is
dig on
You
Tolkien.
attacking me,
Let's talk
Chew.
to him about
Well,
this.
Tolkien's ass today. Like, it's his
Right?
name J.R.R. Tolkien, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember
Yeah,
reading his damn book. Everyone was like, "Oh, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings," and I decided to read the book because I was
It was
already reading.
okay.
I was already reading Harry Potter books, and they were like, "Well, it's a big book." I'm like, "Well, bitch, the
Harry
God
Potter
of Fire was
big.
pretty big. Order of the Phoenix was pretty big. I can read a fucking Lord of the Rings book." So I read it. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Wait,
Mm.
when does the okay? Here's the dialogue. Okay, then the dialogue will stop for a second, and it'll go into 3 pages of like descriptions." I'm like, can we just have a conversation? It's like it's so broken up, and
Yeah.
I couldn't stick with it. And I felt bad. I was like, it's one of those things. I just have to assume the movies did it right because I can't fucking do
Yeah.
it.
That's all you can do.
Right?
That's all you can do. Anybody else got any questions for Mark?
I did. I definitely did. I
I'm
love
here
the world, well, 2
for
things. One, the D&D aspect of your book. Is it fair to say that when you did play D&D, you were the DM?
My dad was.
Holy
Mm.
shit! Okay, yeah, I want to get into that because it seems like the D&D aspect of the book is very heavy, and
Yeah.
moving forward, I think people should grasp that idea of where the influences come from. So like, did you start playing like 5e, or were you playing like
No.
5th edition or 4th edition?
AD&D. Like,
Oh shit!
dude, I'm 43. Like,
Yeah, I was about to say, baby, remember he's older
I started a
than
long
us.
time ago.
Mhm.
Okay.
It did say when the computers had,
Yeah,
This is
black
Stranger
screens with green
Things.
letters.
No,
Like,
you're right. When Adventure was like the hot shit on Atari, or Commodore
Yeah.
46, whatever. Okay.
I started with a Nintendo.
Nintendo,
I started with Nintendo when I played a video game. So, like, thank God I skipped that stuff. But it is very D&D heavy in the sense that, like, a lot of people are familiar, whether it's Magic the Gathering, D&D, they've known the RPGs like Final Fantasy, which now, to be fair, I will admit this openly and honestly. So if more people watch this, great. If not, then okay. But Final Fantasy II inspired
Oh, Fury.
one mage class. One.
Oh,
And I bring him in book 2 to where it's like a Kong versus Godzilla type battle. Like
Can you tell
where
us the
they
character?
obliterate like half a city.
The Final Fantasy character.
No, I'm talking about the book. Like they're
Yeah.
like a character from Final Fantasy II inspired a mage and what he does magically in book 2.
No. Can you tell us the
That's cool.
character of the Final Fantasy character?
Oh, so from Final Fantasy II, I might not be saying her name right, but Rita,
Oh, okay.
the summoner.
Okay,
I'm gonna look into that.
Okay.
I was
got real
obsessed.
excited.
And dude, like the way, again, I'm biased, so like just take what I say with a grain of salt.
Okay.
But the way, when I tell you how much fun that character was to write, because he gets into some boss ass shit to like stick up for his people, because not only is he part of a very rare class of mages, he's also the city's high magi, so he's got that going. But he's also part of an elite, like Dragon Rider. The airborne mages are an elite Dragon Rider unit for that city. So he's like all these things, and then he's like traveling with like 3 squadrons of like Dragon Riders who are all airborne mages. You got these like lieutenant colonel equivalents, like and they're like their banter between each other is like it's it's very Top Gun-ish, which I'm here for. People are like, I actually explain that to people. I'm just like, it's like Top Gun meets House of the Dragon with politics of Game of Thrones, a lot of magic, and some conniving gods.
Dragons, I don't know.
No wyverns, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the summit, but she inspired that like that mage. He's a boss. Like dude slays. Like it is like imagining that battle, because I saw the most recent Kong and Godzilla movie or whatever, and like that's where my brain went, because the size of the beings fighting were that big.
Like Shadow of the Colossus, kind of.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
No.
That
I don't know
sounds
what that is.
familiar.
Shadow of Colossus is one. It's nominated for Game of the Year, or got Game of the Year in this time.
That's why that sounds so familiar.
It's one of those games where you're like a really small person and you have to beat giants. You're like,
I think I know what you're
size
talking.
character climbing up gods and killing them, or trying to, in different various ways.
I think I know.
I dig that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dig that.
And the last one, the next question I had, and this is about the world building, and it might be too on the nose or not, but as it relates to how you create your areas, let's say, in your world, you built the world first, and then section it off on where the story will take place based on what book you're in. Do you do it like? Is it easier to create content that way once you establish the different areas, or do you incorporate the entire map into your story?
The world existed before the story did.
Huh?
The world existed before the story did.
Fair enough. And then, like, how did you end up handling the time aspect of it? Because you said that the book takes place in the past thousands of years ago, and while dragons don't really age that fast, we all know the world and landscape around them can very well change in thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
Taking that into
so that's a really good question. With time, so at the beginning of Elven civilization, dragons are the creator race. They created the elves. Which is why, like I said, mythology plays a huge role in book one. Like in your face, like you learn how conniving they are, but you also learn who, like, the story I love to tell in that, and this is all to answer your question, Leon, is like you learn how the first king on Earth, whose mother is a goddess, how he became the first king as a shadow elf when it could have been a light elf, and how that whole conflict, like racism started at a divine level.
Okay, I'm starting to.
It involves the dragon gods, it involves the elven deities, and that just transpired onto like Earth. So it's called the fourth land because it's like the fourth planet.
I'm not gonna lie to you, the world building sounds exciting, and that's the thing I'm gonna be looking forward to the most.
It is.
Like the characters existing in this world. You just told me something that really, you said the world existed before the story did, and that's enough for me to really wrap my brain of how you're gonna bring this shit to life. I'm just like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
But keep in mind the story, as Miss Petey knows, and as it's indicated by the date, basically the date location stamp. Part one takes place over like a week. That's it.
I was going to ask you, is that a week for us or a week for them? Because
it's a week for us.
Is time the same?
Okay, because time.
Yeah, time's the same. Time's not different. It's the same. 24 hours in a day, 60 minutes.
For them may be different for us.
Oh no! Like I wasn't trying to confuse people, so I'm just like, let me stick with some standard conventions here, and
Okay. Because dragons, you say years and shit, and you talk about elves and years, and they don't age exactly the same. It's like, okay, well, what are we going with?
Yeah.
Maybe they go slower.
Because, Mark, I was going to say the thing you mentioned about racism starting at a divine level, that is very interesting for me and very intriguing, because some of my thoughts when I was talking earlier about, the concept of dragon rider stories becoming more popular now, it was going to my mind just the idea of like, what the relationship between humans and dragons, what do the dragons get out of this connection What do they share the same beefs? Like what? So this definitely got me even more intrigued on, and again, the Covenant Chronicles is just a dope ass title for a series. So it's got me
Appreciate
so
that.
much more intrigued to read it. The thing I want to ask you is, do you feel like you could continue to write in this universe
I was gonna
forever,
ask the same
or
question. I was
there,
gonna ask the same
yeah,
question.
or there are
Yes.
more worlds you see yourself
Yeah.
No,
creating?
it's this one. It is all this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
There,
So there's
dude, I could be
secrets.
alive for 100 years and not write everything I want to write.
Oh,
I'm not even kidding. There's
Mm.
so much, and the fact that this now exists, and book 2,
Yeah.
which y'all get the first no, it's called Testament,
Okay.
which that word is used several
Mm.
times in the book.
Mm.
The very last book, ironically, is called Covenant.
Mm.
Ooh.
But I will be writing forever in this world, and there's going to be a lot to explore. Like even like Marius, dude, no bullshit. Marius, the light elven, oh, he's a half elf. My bad. Then that's actually problematic in the world too, because pure
Mm.
blood elves do not like half elves.
Mm.
They are like, it's like, think of it like the elven equivalent of anti-Semitism.
Mm. Damn.
It's that
That's
serious.
wild.
Like, and like, no, I mean, there's jokes that are made about it, but it's like, no, it's bullshit. Just like light elves
Yeah.
don't like shadow elves. They're fucking racist. Not all of them,
Yeah.
just a good chunk of them.
Are there going to be other
But
races in the book as well that play a role, or is it just going to be focused on elves in this universe, this particular?
it's elves, humans, dragons, dwarves, which will be shown up later. Sea elves make an appearance, a cameo in book 2, but they don't get their full love until book 3 because of some like crazy like World War II Pacific theater type stuff that happens.
Oh wow.
Okay. Hey, okay.
Who else? There's also the reptilian equivalent of a sea elf that's their hated enemy called the
Mm.
Eolassin. They live in the oceans and in the seas and stuff
Mm.
like that. They but it's really the main conflict is between the human empire and the elven kingdom.
Do you have to be careful with some of the mythology that's used because of? I'm just going to say without Wizards of the Coast and copyright names and concepts and stuff. I've wondered about that type of thing. Like, how long before they copyright dragons? Like they.
It's public domain. Like that existed
I was
before
gonna
those
say,
companies did.
goddamn, is
So
that something they could do? Because what the hell?
Okay, well, put it to
I
you like
hope
this.
not.
Remember when Yu-Gi-Oh first came out? The cards were called the spell cards were called magic cards. The green cards were called magic cards, and they got sued, and they had to change them to spell cards. They were originally called magic.
Magic the
cards.
Gathering.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. Magic the Gathering, and then people were getting confused. You buy a magic card.
Yeah,
you get a
that's
magic
why
card.
they probably got sued. They had to
Right,
change
but
because
the issue is that do you own the term magic card? When magic cards have been out long before Magic the Gathering. Keep in mind, they used to call tarot cards magic cards, right? And we're talking about that's the Gypsy era. So, like,
Jesus
I'm just saying,
Christ!
how far
This
did that go?
shit out.
Like, I be wondering about things like that. With
So,
like fantasy
to
stuff.
give you an idea, if that ever came to pass, okay, let's just say hypothetically, I created 15. I have like 50 breeds of dragon in my world. Some of which already existed, chromatic, metallic, the usual ones.
Yeah. Yes.
But then there are the mystical breeds like a Baspire or Ashikanalkas or a Talathan, because the Talathan is named after the North and South Talath seas. So that's like, it's unique to that geography.
okay.
Yeah.
Or
I really thought about
an Imbrathern or something like that. Like that's unique to a certain geography that has history, which is mentioned in book 2 because I'm introducing more dragon types or more dragon breeds rather.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So like they like if that's what they want to do, then like I'm good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, give us a second.
You okay?
Oh, you run out of time?
Yeah. I'm waiting for her to say it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I don't know if you did this on purpose. My name's in the book.
Do what?
Oh.
Which page are you looking at?
Yeah. I think so.
Give me the page number.
Priestess of the halls of the perpetual void.
What page number?
What
It's
page number is that?
5.
You said which one?
645. It says Nahima Dar.
You said 645. I only go up to like 621
No,
or 620.
it's
You gotta remember, yours is Matt, hers is not.
I hate to cut this short because I'm gonna be the one. To
Yeah,
do it,
we
but
are
we
about
actually have to go to a commercial
Yeah.
Go
break
back
real
again?
quick, and we'll be right back.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Yeah.
And
All right. We'll be back. All right. It's about to cut off. Let me get y'all the
I love me and I love my fucking self. Ain't nothing wrong with being selfish. If you were me, you would be selfish too. Give me what I've been begging from you. I'm too cute, I'm a kawaii hoe. Give me all those clothes, let's go to the store. Pay these bills, give me cash, kawaii. I love me and I love my fucking self. Ain't nothing wrong with being selfish. If you were me, you would be selfish too. Give me what I've been begging from you. I'm too cute, I'm a kawaii hoe. Give me all those clothes, let's go to the store. Pay these bills, give me cash, kawaii. I love me and I love my fucking self. Ain't nothing wrong with being selfish. If you were me, you would be selfish too. Give me what I've been begging from you. I'm too cute, I'm a kawaii hoe. Give me all those clothes, let's go to the store. Pay these bills, give me cash, kawaii.
All right, and we are back, and we have solved the mystery of the name. The name was there before he met me, y'all. The name was here before he met
Well, give them
me.
context because I don't think they caught what you were saying
Yeah.
before because we were making
Okay,
conversation.
so there is a person, a high priestess of the halls of the perpetual void, who's a character in his book, and it has the spelling of my name, kind of, a little bit, little tad bit, little. But the Nahima, that's because everybody calls Nahimia or something like that. It's funny. So I'm like, oh. But I was saying, hey, maybe you knew you were going to meet me one day and boom.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it
I
works
thought your name
out.
was Nima.
With the A.
Nima.
Naima.
I mean, that's a nickname, yeah, but
No, I thought
like,
it was when I first saw your name. I didn't think it was Naima. I thought the A was silent
So
or
I'm the one
Naima.
that's special.
Like if or like Naima or Nima or
no.
Naima. So I said Nay, but I was like, it's probably not Naima. That sounds dumb. I'll go with Nima.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I always thought it was Naima. I always
Thank
said it
you.
was Naima.
Thank
And apparently my person who can't read
Oh,
or
you.
read
what?
numbers said it right.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I had these character names about 25 years ago now.
so
Around
this
Okay.
is this is like a
between
make.
20
This
to
is
25 years ago.
Way before he met
so
me,
this is a
y'all.
this
Wait.
is
Yeah.
so the world building. You've been building this world for years. We're talking
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I have timeline guides that are like 150 pages. So, for instance, about one
Man.
city, one, it's in the middle, literally, like it's like on an island set that's the size of Puerto Rico in the middle of the world,
Oh.
between almost equidistant between the empire and the west coast of the main continent. The city is named after a relic that an elven mage ferreted out when the human empire took over everything. He founded a city called Illustar, which translates to light of the heavens because of the relic
Mm.
that's super powerful. That timeline guide takes place 900 years starting before the first book starts. So that's also
Right.
going to get published too. And there's history, names, like
Oh
everything.
man, you can't win.
Okay.
You can't lose.
He said, I have the world.
Yeah.
The world.
And
I'm
when
So
telling you,
Trent
a
told
lot
me,
of good books. If you do the world building, is like you say you're about to do it.
Yeah.
You'll carry us on because we're just gonna be invested. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Magic the Gathering, but I love the world building of Magic the Gathering.
okay,
Yeah, I do love the world building, the stories that they have, the individual characters. The fact that the world's so grandiose yet all connected, and so many stories can go on at the same place. That even my D&D campaign or a D&D campaign could technically be canon in that world just because of how the world is.
mm.
Something that's not even because then we could just be regular people within that setting, doing
yeah,
our own thing, and it's actually canon. Like I like
it's
that.
it is pretty wild. But I will say though, with the way the world is built, and even when I was before, this is right before I started writing book one.
Yeah,
I had gotten turned down from a job I had applied to. I already had a job, but
right.
I got rejected from a job I had, and I was pissed.
Mm.
So I took that energy and started writing the beginning of Elven civilization, like its historical timeline.
Oh shit.
Mm.
Oh,
Got into about the first. Now mind you, Elven civilization started 33,000 years ago,
Yeah, I was about to say.
which is in book one. So you can see it in the time location stamp. I wrote the first 3,000 years of
mm.
Elven history. That's when Trent was like, "Stop it, write the damn
Mm.
book." But here's the cool thing about it. Because I wrote that stuff, I actually referenced things that happened in the beginning in, I think,
Mm.
book one and book two,
You pretty much
like
wrote
the
your
Yeah.
Civil
Bible.
War.
It's your Bible.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It
your
Yeah.
all worked
historical
out.
Bible, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And like, there's some like the I can't, the light elves I cannot with. Like, they
No,
are
it's
freaking
so
horrible
funny
people.
because you wrote the Bible, you wrote the True Testament, quote unquote. That it's going to be interesting to see how other people take that same energy that you know is true, right? You have the cheat
Mhm.
code, right? So
Mhm.
anybody
Yeah.
who's portraying your story in the book could potentially be lying, and only you know that they're lying until
Yeah.
we catch up to the fact that
Mhm.
this is the true story. Like you have so many ways of writing that. That's amazing.
Like even with, and I'll give you like another like historical nugget. So there's I actually like describe because they're getting a new Dragon Rider in book 2, which has really sad ties to book 1. No details, of course, because no spoilers. We don't do that here.
We don't do that here.
But I can give historical context in the sense that after the graduation, they go to what's called the Founders Mine. So it's in a city, and you'll see this in the map in the book. It's Galvador,
Okay.
which is in the southeastern part of the Elven Kingdom. That's where the Dragon Rider, Griffin Rider, and Pegasus Rider academies are. But like an actual military graduation, I talk about the facing movements, the marching, the speeches. Yeah, see, it's right there.
Ooh, oh, we got
Bottom
a map.
right.
We got a map.
That's a small piece. The
Yes.
actual big main continent map is on the website, which you can.
Yeah.
It's the fourthland.com. It's mentioned in the book too.
Oh wait,
But,
where exactly is that mentioned?
I think it's in the author's note about the map at the beginning of the book.
Oh, you know, it'd be real cool if you made the back of your hardcover just the big ass map.
It would be
When
so
you get all the
shrunken,
books
dude.
together, it'd be cool.
Right.
Oh, it was called. You know what? I was looking up another thing,
Oh,
and
it's all
that's why
good.
the website wasn't working.
Because you had me freaked out. I'm just like, what do you mean it's not working?
I was doing sassfactory.com.
Oh yeah, that's the guy who did my he's the one who did the map. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I thought it was. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't even think to look at the note for the map.
But like the way everything's connected, I go through the the honor graduate gives their speech, the
Yeah.
general gives his speech, the commandant of the thing there, because he's got his own flag, and so they go through the colors, everyone's saluting, there's a national anthem, whatever, for the
Yeah.
kingdom. And then they're dismissed. They pick up the new rider. They have this really nice lunch, and then they go, which by the way, the place they're staying is tied to the general because of a lieutenant colonel he served with, and that has its own history and like with this, like it's a whole thing, and it's really fucking sad actually. But anyway, they go after lunch. They go to what's called the Founders Monument, and that's the founders of the Dragon Rider Academy, which originally, like at the beginning of history, was an elven mage. So they have a statue of him and his dragon, who is named. But here's the kicker: the generals who command the military are each given like these like mansions to live in because they're fucking generals, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what happens in the military, because fucking enlisted people. But so they have servants, they have all that stuff, and the house is called Orfel Manor, which is a noble house in the kingdom, but that's the last name of the first Dragon Rider. The family tried to fight through the court system to take it for their own because, it started with their house. But it's actually for everyone who holds the position of the commander of the air forces. That's how intricate the history gets.
Yeah.
Well, you had a lot of time to think about it and, build upon it. So that makes this like a really great read and a really great book. A story that is gonna make you like, oh, I can see myself as this character, or I can see exactly what's happening. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And the book.
There's a joke.
My characters. The people are going to give you critiques and things if it don't make sense to make, or you like. It's gonna be one of those things where people are like, you have to wait and see. I already thought about that. It's already done. It's already over. I guess you'll have to wait for book 5. I would love that.
Right, yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. We're on book 2, and they talk about some shit that don't make sense, and you're like, well, I guess you'll figure it out in book 5. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Literally.
So
But,
this... Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's a joke, not necessarily a spoiler, but like my mom is, my mom, the woman I call mom is a woman of color, right? So we got a multitude of people here who understand. So we meet the general's wife, who's powerful on her own, and she's a no bullshit. She's like my mom, basically. Marius, who's a half elf, but he's half sun elf actually, and half human. They're walking because it's like the family, everyone's hanging around, whatever. Because Aiden's parents is the general, and she's a senior mage at the academy. So the general has a mix of servants: light elves, stone elves, moon elves, shadow elves, whatever. It's not like, oh, they're black and they have white servants. It's nothing crazy like that.
Right. We don't do
but
that here.
No, so Marius, being the lighter skinned one that he is, so he's talking saying to Aiden's mom, so when do we get to enjoy this world class cooking that I've heard so much about, right? Because everyone knows, Aiden's mom is a boss when it comes to because she still makes it home for dinner, right?
Yeah.
She's like, well, we don't let the light elven servants really mess with the food because they don't really they don't do a good job with with the food because it's usually missing something, and the general says, yeah, seasoning.
Can't use seasoning?
That
I knew it.
Y'all can summon fireballs, but you can't use paprika.
No, he did. No, he did. Yes, he did.
One of my friends said that.
No, he did.
That's funny.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Yeah. So is that the humor is not real?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Season your food, you guys. Season it.
Put a whole cup of sugar in it.
All right, so you guys check out Lord Have Mercy, Book One, Covenant Chronicles, Inquisition. I don't know why I know the book by heart. I don't know why I have to look at the book. It's like my brain is not connecting. But
let me put it up real quick. I got it on the screen.
Oh yeah, on the screen. Okay, check it out, you guys. You can buy it on Amazon. But let's go to our promos, and if you would like to go ahead and promote your book a little bit more and tell us where we can get it and everything.
Sure. So you can buy it on Amazon. It's available right now on Kindle and on paperback. Hardcover coming soon because it is requested, but just got to give a little bit more time for that. You can't buy from me directly, despite what the website says, because that costs a whole print run, and that's money. And that's a whole. I got to go through an American company to get the print runs and everything. So I was doing that, but then we ended up getting it in Barnes and Noble and in a local bookstore in New Bern that are carrying my book. So I don't have any more copies to sell, with the exception of hooking up Nina possibly. But outside of that, it's on Amazon, and you can buy it on Kindle and in paperback. And if you happen to be local to Jacksonville, North Carolina, you can show up at the Barnes & Noble there. It's on the shelf, which is super awesome. And there's a local bookstore in New Bern by the ABC store where there's 5 copies. Because the owner actually read the book, and she's like, I want to carry your book. And I'm like, starting to hook that up.
Hey. All right, and you guys can purchase it on Amazon with the link below in our description. It's getting late, y'all. My brain is saying, doo, doo, doo. Okay. All righty. So, I want to go ahead and promote my nail polish, Ewa Enchanted Nails. If you guys can't see, I have the beautiful kawaii sky on my fingernails, and I absolutely love how long it lasts, how fast it dries, and that it is vegan and does not have all those harmful chemicals that will give you cancer. And it's great for your puppies or your kitties or your turtles or your animals, just the animals. It's great for it. I also have my coloring books. The Magical Mystical Queen PD's Magical Mystical World and the Alphabet book as well. And I want to promote my album, you guys. Thoughts of a Mad Woman, honey. You can stream it, you guys. Stream it. Just stream it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, whatever streaming service you can think of is going to be on there. It's on Tidal, all of it. So you guys, please check it out. Check it out.
Don't forget if you were watching the commercials about the Kawaii Ho as well. So
Mhm.
make sure you check out that song too. I like that song.
Yes, I
Yeah.
bet you do. I know. Yeah. Mhm.
So, hi. It's been a while to do this. I am still so Scentsy. My website is lovablescents.com. We just had a huge sale on Tuesday that ended on Tuesday because it
Mm.
sold out.
Oh,
We have Harry Potter, we got Disney, we got Mother's Day stuff out now. We have stuff for babies, laundry, lotion. We got it all. We if there's anything that you're looking for, just email me, call me, um, go on my website.
the
You can
link's in
ask
the
us any
description.
questions. Also, for my Mary Kay business, it is marykay.com/Karina Beauty Within. There's a lot of good stuff that's coming out, lotions, and the makeup is getting better, is better formatted. We have um, like this really good sunscreen skincare right now, 30 SPF. So I'm always, even without Mary Kay, SPF. Oh, actually, it's SPF 50, not 30. Sorry about that.
Oh,
But
nice.
it's called the new Mary Kay Sunscreen Broad Centrum, and you just put it on, put your primer on, put that on, mix it with your primer, put it on. It gives you more of a coverage. Because a lot of people forget they'll put sunscreen all over their body, all over their
Mhm.
arms and legs, but they forget they need to put on their face continually. So this helps with that. Um, but yes, don't forget, if you do want to be part of my lunch party on the 26th, let me know, hit me up, and I will get you that link. So
I'll be there. I'll be there.
So again, it's your boy Tris. I'm
stay
also
blessed.
known, yes, with the bliss. And you can also find me on YouTube under Holy Baloney Jabronis. Check
Holy
out some of
baloney
the things.
jabronis.
Yes. And it's baloney with an A where the O should be in the beginning. But we talk about all
Oh,
kinds of things over there. Hmm? And then check me out there. I also wanted to, promote Believe New York. It helps New Yorkers in need of being connected to resources, everything from short-term housing, long-term housing, trying to escape domestic violence, getting food assistance. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and people have been and still are suffering. They're still going through it. If you need mental health support, if you need to talk to somebody, message them. Look at the website believeny.org. You can email at, let me just double check, get help at believeny.org. You can also book an intake for them to start assisting you at believeny.org/get help. And then finally, in this time where, again, the government is moving away from actually stepping up and helping with environmental services, we're cutting our forest services, our national park numbers. They're looking to mine and drill in our coastal waters, in our national parks. It's very scary. And again, we are less than 5 years from hitting the global tipping point. And we don't want to wait and just let the next 4 or more years go by as we push ourselves to the brink. So I'm also with an organization called the Nature Conservancy. And since 1951, over the past 70 years, they've been finding natural solutions to a lot of these issues, from planting 1.3 billion trees around the world between now and 2030 to even laying down 500 million oysters in the waters around the world to better clean it and protect our coastlines from storms. So check out their website at nature.org. And I'm a fundraiser on their behalf. So if you see them in the streets, important to come up and donate with us in person so there could be even more people like myself out there reaching y'all directly to make a difference. Let's save this planet together, especially since it's Earth Month.
Okay. I would like to promote my company, Just As Heroes LLC. We do video game parties and events. We don't have a venue quite yet. We're working on it. But if you have an event within the DMV, mostly close to the D of the DMV, and some parts of the V,
Down to visit me?
huh?
I think you come visit me.
Yeah, that's kind of
Bars.
far. But I'll be keeping it stacked with you.
You know, I'll come.
Yeah. Maybe once we get a truck. Maybe once we get like a gaming truck. But
Okay.
now we facilitate occupy areas where people have their own venues or hotel parties or so on and so forth. We have Switches, PS5s, Xbox Ones, what's the new Xbox Series X's. I did want to talk about that Switch too because it was on my heart, but we just don't have the time. And also getting back, like I said before, getting back into my apparel, we'll be able to make it so that you guys can order your own custom mats. I have one right here that I made for Sonic.
I need that.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
That's nice.
It's a table mat, but it's basically for card games like TCG maps. This was a custom one that I made in Photoshop and other works. But if you have your own design and you want it on a mat, and you can see that happening, or mouse pad, Just As Heroes LLC will provide that service for you. You can we can until I get our site back up. Everything's still under construction. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, but on Facebook you can hit us up at Just As Heroes LLC, and on Instagram Just As Heroes LLC, and we'll take your inquiry. Okay, so and we've had some clients in the past from Arizona to other far parts of Maryland where we've shipped off stuff for them. That people will say, "Hey, can you put this on a mat?" And I was like, "Yeah." So it really just comes down to what you. Yeah. It really comes down to that. Yeah, and we give you a free estimate as quality control will say, so that your mat doesn't come out too blurry, if it doesn't have the right resolution, being honest about the look of what you were asking for. We're very transparent. I don't like shipping ugly things, and I'm let you know if it's ugly, even if you don't want me to know, because at the end of the day, wow, I don't want you being like, I got this ugly ass mat from us, and it's just, well, why is it pixelated? That's how they did it. I'm like, nope. We told his ass that's how it's going to turn out. So, you can hit us, like I said, hit us up, either here or there. I'm Leon Taylor on Facebook, so you can hit me up there as well. So, but that's all I have for you.
Righty. Well, I want to thank our guest, Mark, for coming on. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. We enjoyed you like wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's wholeheartedly.
Appreciate that. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah.
Always enjoy you.
One of my favorite white men.
I think you got the
I rock with
sign.
that.
Yes,
I think you finally invited to the family reunions.
Yeah.
No.
When the world goes to shit, you're still invited to the cookout. We promise.
Yeah.
In a world where we say, don't ask us to come to the cookout, we're not talking about you.
Okay. And I'll bring seasoning too.
Exactly. Seasons his food, y'all.
Yeah, no raisins and potato salad.
First of all, I'm starting to believe that's an old white people myth, because ain't no fucking way.
I think
raisins
And
Listen.
the potato salad.
There
I
used to
have
be
seen it.
food used to be in jelly. Don't forget that.
What?
Who?
What?
Food used to be in like jelly and
Yes.
jellos. Don't forget that in jello modes.
Food?
Yeah.
Back in the
Oh,
60s, 70s.
yeah.
But
Wait,
for
how did we get
racing, I've
here?
seen it.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
It was just a reference we made, and then we went on a tangent. It's
Yeah.
not a normal discussion.
I was say it's not. It's this is normally what we normally don't do. It's just not normal.
Yeah.
Okay, shit.
Woo.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, you guys. Well, if you are watching us on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe to us. And if you are watching on Facebook, please like our Facebook page, Not Your Normal Discussion. You will see us right in the profile picture. All right. Well, until next time. Oh, God. Actually, next episode, we will be having Timothy Lawson, and he will be sharing with us even more cryptocurrency
Oh,
information.
Ooh,
Crypto
I
me
can't
So,
wait.
too.
yes, so we got him back. Can't wait. And
Get your questions
we
ready.
will see you guys in the next one.
Welcome
Right.
back.